check out a couple of crazy things that happened. First off, the city of Columbus, Ohio posted a meme of the Somali flag wishing everybody a happy Somali Independence Day. Well, it got ratioed so badly that they had to delete it. People absolutely hated it. Now, the other thing that happened is in Buffalo, New York, they raised the Somali flag in front of the city hall. That's bad enough. But what makes it 10 times worse? This was, I think it was a day after they canceled the 4th of July fireworks because they couldn't spend the money on them. They couldn't spare the money to celebrate the nation's 250th anniversary with fireworks. So that got me to thinking, why do politicians kowtow to these people? Why is the Somali flag raised? Why are we so afraid? Are politicians so afraid to talk about Islam? Well, sure, there's the cultural diversity thing that's been pounded into everybody. But a really big part of this is just practical for the politicians' sake. They're afraid of people who organize, and Muslims in the US are super organized. You look at Minneapolis, you look at Dearborn. Somalis are no percentage of they're like less, they're 0.08% of the population, I think. Yet they were organized enough to bilk us, the taxpayer, out of $9 billion in Minneapolis. In Dearborn, Muslims are super organized. So these politicians don't want to anger them and risk them organizing against them. So then that raises the question, why are politicians not afraid of Christians the same way? Again, Somalis, 0.08% of the population. Muslims are 1% of the US population. Christians are 60 to 70% of the population. Yet so many politicians aren't concerned about angering them at all because they know they won't organize. They know they won't activate. So why is that? Well, about 25 years ago, we began to see conservative Christians begin, some of them beginning to moderate a little bit and say, you know what, we really don't need to mix politics and Christianity. Politics is of this world, and Christians, we're not supposed to be of this world. Real Christians don't dabble in politics, and really we shouldn't sully ourselves with that. Okay, fine, whatever. The problem is that 25 years later, we've got Islam at our doorstep, and we can't organize enough Christians to really, all we would have to do is raise our little finger to put enough pressure to stop the spread and the advance of Islam in the US. We can't organize enough to just do that, even though there are 70 times as many of us as there are Muslims in the country. So, and Christians not being able to activate like that in the face of Islam, there are two problems. First off, the really practical one is that Islam wants to kill you. Islam, real Islam, not watered down, moderated Islam, real Islam wants to kill Christians. People who will not bend the knee are going to be killed. That's what they do. So that's a big practical problem. Christians, if you're not willing to actually organize and push back against this, you're risking your family, you're risking your kids' throats getting cut. If we want to talk about Christians not being of this world and politics are nothing but this world, well, okay, let's think about not this world. The other issue with Islam is that what we have coming into America is a literal demonic, satanic force. That's what Islam is. Mostly it's a political system, but the religious part of it is fundamentally demonic and satanic. So again, we've got a 70 to 1 advantage over Muslims. Yet Muslims are pushing around American politicians in the name of a satanic faith, and Christians can't push with 70 to 1. Christians can't stop that dead in its tracks. We have become complete idiots because we listened to what became moderate and liberal Christians saying politics is of this world, Christians aren't, so we need to wash our hands of it. Look, if Christians don't get active in politics, we're going to lose the country. And if that doesn't matter to you, fine, but you're also going to lose your family, and you're going to lose it to a demonic force. Christians are actually supposed to stand up to that. We're supposed to storm the gates of hell. Jesus didn't say, turn the other cheek to Satan. What he did is he said, get thee behind me. He didn't say, come on in, kill my family, enjoy cutting Mary's throat, enjoy cutting James, my brother's throat. No, he didn't. We're not supposed to turn the other cheek to demonic armies. So Christians, man up, organize, activate, fight back. And what we're talking about here is demanding your politicians stop kowtowing to this satanic cult and this population of people who worship a demon, who worship a satanic entity called Muhammad. Take a stand for your families and take a stand for your faith.